I work most days as a book designer, and 2 nights ago I was working on a text about phenomena when I noticed that something strange was happening with the letters. So I went in and more closely still, and I saw that they were breathing, literally and slowly. Maybe you don't believe me, but I saw this vividly. They had their arms crossed over their chests, and they were piled up, all tight on top of one another, looking something like miniature living corpses on their deathbeds. I thought that they might be suffocating one another, being so close, and so I gave space around each letter and word and leading and margin, and then when I went back in and more closely still and again, and they had stopped entirely. There was no more breathing, not even a little, not even slowly. From inside of my dream, Sir asked me if I was dreaming. I said, I don't think so. He said, you know, this is where the word goes when it's ready to die. It goes inside the book, and it holds itself here. The next morning, I was given a phone call that the author had died. Dear Sir, can I still write you little letters even though you're dead now? Please say yes. Dear Sir, last month a woman came up to me in the airport and asked about my thoughts on communing with the dead. I don't know how our conversation got like this so quickly, but I do know that she was very forward. She said that she thought that you and I are spirit twins or something like this. I said, I don't know anything about that. She said, we would always be present in one another's lives. Sir, are you back yet? Will you be my son? I hope you like the names we're choosing. Dear Sir, last night I heard you calling from the top of the brick silo where the bees are kept. You were shouting, I'm up here now. But, sir, what if I don't believe in heaven? I tried to run up the stairs to you, but they kept changing their direction, and then I was running down and sideways towards the sounds of you whistling through your front teeth like how you used to make wind sounds, dear sir. Last night I was given a handful of your ashes. I'll put half of you in my garden, mulched you in around the irises whose bulbs Patty dug last spring from your front yard just before we sold your home. I hope you like it here. I hid your other half, but I can't remember where I put you now. I only told Mrs. Alice, and she can't remember either. I'm very sorry, sir, but I think I may have lost part of you. I promise. I will try to redream this tonight, but until then, can you be safe in the memory of whiteness? Dear sir, it has been exactly 1 year since your death. Tonight's the night, just after midnight. I'm 27 now, and I'm trying to remember everything as best I can, like that summer when we were playing basketball and you were wearing those funny teal shorts with the faded orange pockets, and Cookie came out in her bathrobe to make fun of you from the other side of the driveway. I'm putting this here. This isn't good enough. Is this good enough? You know, I didn't start this because you died, sir. That just happened. It was like you had this terrible stomach ache, but you always ached, and then the doctor said, it's back, and you were so afraid you'd suffer. But then, all of a sudden, I'm quoting John Wayne on the little card about your death, and we passed it out to everyone you knew. Tomorrow comes into us at midnight very clean. It's perfect when it arrives. It puts itself in our hands and it hopes we've learned something from yesterday. No. No, sir. I started this because I'm afraid of not remembering, and then Mrs. Alice said that the evergreen across the street was looking like, yeah, she said it was just looking like something she couldn't quite remember right then. And then she couldn't quite remember what we were talking about anymore. And then she couldn't quite remember that she was speaking a sentence at all, and so she just smiled at me, and I said, I wish I knew how long 70 years was. And she said, you don't want to know. And I said, but I do. And the next time Mrs. Ellis said, don't miss anything. And I told her I wouldn't. No, sir. This is supposed to be about the living. And this is supposed to be about remembering that we are the living. Dear sir, I've just learned of a friend who's died. She had written, dead person, will you partake in my persimmon feast? Please. Please, sir. Let's have a hard candy feast and go for a walk. I hate this death. Makes me feel like we're all just running out of time. And what exactly am I doing? Just sitting here on this airplane? Like, really? Is one side more urgent than the other? Is it? Please, sir. Tell me I'll live to be infinity, because I couldn't take it otherwise. Dear sir, if I die today, then everyone will know that I never took a shower this morning. I'm still in my pajamas, and the time is now 3:43 p.m. in the great state of Colorado, and I don't plan on changing that later today either. Today. Does anyone ever get to know that they're going to die today? Sir, did you know when the most intimate moment of your life was here? Is that why you waited for my mother to leave the room, and then for the woman from hospice to leave the room, and then the clock went past midnight and you were alone in your room? Tomorrow comes into us at midnight, very clean. It's perfect when it arrives. Was it perfect for you, sir? Dear sir, I want to walk with you through these fields again now. I want to eat all your withers and snake the frogs and bring them into our treehouse family. And I want to tell you about how this place is now. How it's just full of the dead and the demented. And then you would say, compared to what? And then I want to watch you stare at me until you laugh. And then you would say, here, take this hammer and go pound back down those nails over there.